All right, folks, here we go. Tuesday evening, painting session. And we'll get started. If I remember where the hell we were at, which one of these guys were painting. Oh, it was this guy right here. See how difficult this is to open today. No mold. Nope. They did something. They did something in that formula. It's definitely not attracting mold. I actually should have tested it without putting the pennies down. I can't believe the pennies made that much of a difference. Let's get rid of these little bit of lint that's on here. It's actually easier to see that on this white surface than the other one that is not really purely white. And we'll see who joins us today. So it's kind of a late start, but I've started at 9 before, so this isn't so bad. All right. Let's put these painted folks here. All right, next on the list. Mr. Nordic, welcome. Welcome. You're almost always on. You must not have a life like me. Perfect. That's why we get along so well. Indulging in my Coke habit. So we had a game last night, which looked like we weren't going to film, and then we did. We only got 3 games in, and it still took a long time to process. It took a long time to process the video, and after I was done processing the video, this is the second video I've done in a row that when I post it to Facebook, it won't carry on the thumbnail, and it just flat out pissed me off. And the last thing is I did the unboxing on the wolves. That one didn't work. And that was a very short video. And it has to do with cleaning out your cache. And it's happened to me at least 10 times before. And I fixed it. And this time I went to the same places, didn't want to work. So I'm done posting my videos on Facebook. You know, I've got, I don't know, less than 400 people on Facebook and almost 1,600 people here. So if you guys don't know about this channel already, you know, you live in the dark ages. So I will post on Facebook, but just static images. I'm not posting links to, hey, I got a new video, check it out on my channel. Give me a like and a subscribe. You guys should already be subscribed. It doesn't really apply to you, but I'm just saying that, you know, it's time to take the training wheels off, folks. I don't mind doing stuff for other people, but if it creates a freaking headache, you know, as I like to say, you keep getting punished, you know. You live a rather boring existence, but at least I don't want others to mess up my days up. That's right. At least you're not doing hard drugs or you're a drunker. So I will no longer, it doesn't affect you, Nordic. I know you don't Facebook. I think Facebook is good for communicating with a hobby, but starting to be a massive pain in the ass. So, I just don't feel like I should be punished for being a herald, so to speak. You know, hey, here's some good news for you. Oh yeah, fuck you. You know, your thumbnail's not gonna work. And I mean, this last one I've screwed with it for about an hour. I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm done. All right, I think this was the gray that we were going to use for the... Mr. Hamilton, welcome. You're not on Facebook either. It doesn't affect you at all. I don't think you are. Anyhow. It will not, and that doesn't affect you non-Facebook people at all. You started watching a battle report on the enemies of Persia. Had to stop after your game, though. The dice complaining was annoying. Yeah, it happens. I'm not going to say anything. Some of us are better at it than others. I don't let the dice get to me. It starts rolling bad. Screw it. I'm still using it. Die doesn't get to say, oh, I don't want to work today. Screw you. You're working twice as hard. Wayne, where are you at again? Aren't you like in Texas or something like that? I think you're in Texas. You're north of here, that's for sure. Why do I think you're in Texas? No, you're in Virginia. That's right, you're in Virginia. That's right, you're outside of Richmond or something like that. I actually Mitch wanted to drive through Richmond on the way up there to Historicon. I was like, holy shit, this is going to be bad. There were some crazy ass drivers. But we lived. We survived. Hotter than... Dice complaining is a huge turnoff for me as a player viewer. If the dice are not rolling good, you make an example of it, the die for the other die to see, and there you go. Yep. Oh well. I could play solo games. I could just do solo games and I won't complain about the dice. It doesn't bother me much. You know what I don't like? I don't like people that say, well, I whooped your ass when it's obviously was a luck. I don't like that shit. That's what I don't like. Interstate 95, North Richmond. As long as you talk yourself in a funny accent, Tony, that will be acceptable. Yeah, probably. I've always done that. That's more than half the fun. I'm telling you, if I end up building a Confederate army for that, I don't know if I could film it. That's some funny shit. There'd be some inbred types, for sure. There was one of the guys that said on one of my videos in one of the comments. I brought this up earlier the other day. I don't know if you guys were around to hear it, but he was surprised that there wasn't any American Civil War games and then the battles. And there was one, but I guess it wasn't. He just thought there would have been more, and he just thought that maybe people wouldn't be able to. It might offend people, and that's why people will stop playing that. That's the whole reason to play it. I just not particularly interested in the period, you know. You tell me I can't say something, that's like, oh, I gotta say it now. And Mitch is a natural Confederate. He doesn't wear any shoes. Perfect. Perfect. Ah, snap. There we go. "25% skill, 25% luck, and 50% accents." There we go. You forgot 100% booze. That's not me. I don't remember the last time I had a drink at a game night. I'm not opposed to it, just it's unnecessary. Drinking is like, when you have to do things that you don't want to do, like, go to work. Okay? So at work, yeah, go get drunk while you're at work. If only. People would like me a lot more, that's for sure, if that was the case. I don't need to drink when I'm doing my favorite thing. A quiet drunk here. See if I can revitalize this little bit of this white here. There you go. You rarely drink. Not missing anything. Think it's been a couple of years at least since the last time I had a drop of alcohol. I'm a happy drunk, but I haven't been drunk that many times. Well, that's a word that I think that I use in different ways than other people. I happen to say, hey, I'm drunk when I'm unable to drive. I don't use it that, you're falling all over the place vomiting. So, falling over the place vomiting, yeah, I never do that. But, drink to the point where it's like, I need to sober up a little bit before I can drive. Yeah, that happens. It doesn't on game night because, you can plan it, Even when we go on the cruise, the last cruise we went on, it's basically all you can drink. And I don't know if I even had a buzz at any point. It's not the point, But I don't know, I guess some people are addicted to it, or it's in their family, or my family never had a history of that issue. And if I couldn't drink, I'd be like, all right, I just don't want somebody telling me I can't have a drink. That's the contrarian. I'm an old contrarian. Now, who the hell do you think you are? Tell me what to do. Rum and Coca-Cola. I've been drunk off of laughter playing Pirate Flux, which is a card game. Oh, I have two of them. I have the standard one and I have the Monty Python one. I don't like the Monty Python because a lot of the cards ask you to make up songs and stuff like that. And I'm not a singer. Okay, I'm an actor, not a singer. I'm even more of a dancer than a singer. But I remember I saw that game being played one time. And I would just walk somewhere and people were playing this game, and I thought, oh, this is the most complicated game ever. Until you play it a couple times, and you're like, oh, this is cool. This is easy, but yet, it's mild tactics. Your family has a history of alcohol abuse. Wow. Well, yeah, you best stay away from it, I guess. I don't. Mine's food abuse. I like to eat. FDR, Churchill, and I, all heavy drinkers, but I'm a better dancer. No. On Friday, I went to a after work thing with people from my wife's work, and we went to a little brewery that's literally right next. I mean, it's like the next driveway over from where I work. And actually, she works right next to me. It's just pure coincidence. And this is out in the country. So it just happened to be they opened this little brewery, went over there, and I had 2 beers, and that was plenty. And, ate. I was fine to drive. And then Saturday, I had this nagging, just headache all day until 3 p.m. And that basically keeps me from wanting to drink any more than I already do. It's a pain in the ass. I hate having a headache. It's like I didn't even do anything wrong, so. So these people that drink every day, nah. Maybe it's because I drank too late. I'm not sure what it is. I had a bad experience at Historicon, not this past time, but the last time I went. I had a beer after midnight, didn't even get a buzz off of it, and woke up with probably the worst I've ever felt. And off of 1 beer. And yeah, maybe it's beer. I don't know. I had beer at Historicon this last time and had no problem, but it was basically over lunchtime, so I still had time to process it. I could drink enough to dance. I can't drink enough to sing. Was supposed to have a phone interview this afternoon, but the person conducting it never called, and he didn't pick up the phone. I really hate unprofessional individuals. People that say one thing and then do something else. World's full of them. All right, so this guy's got some poofy pants. Well, he's got a tunic, and I don't want to give him the tunic the same color as the other one. So choking on my spit. That happens to old people, right? Goes the wrong way. I gotta be careful. He's gonna end up looking like a Zouave, which is not really the look I want. I don't have a problem painting Zouaves, but we're not doing those 19th century guys just yet. Let's give him a dark brown tunic. Quit the job. Needless to say, I won't be doing business with that company. If they have enough respect to keep their appointments, says a lot about how they operate. Yeah. Nicholas Vaughn, welcome. I'm going to guess that's how you say your name. Vaughn. Oh, this is chocolate brown. That just won't do. We need to do SS Camo Black, probably. Yeah, we'll use that as the base. Well, it could have had a terrible accident while passengers in Tiger Woods' car. Has that happened again? Is he out wrecking cars again? Whatever happened to him? Was he intoxicated or some shit like that? I don't know. I don't follow famous people. Close. Normal W sound. Oh, okay. 1. Okay. I was overthinking your surname. All right, let's get some black out here. And then we are going to make his pants kind of a light color. We're not going to do white, maybe a cream colored or something like that. Maybe a light, like a light olive drab or some dirty ass color. Something like that. On roofies at 6 a.m. in the morning, Chinese cannot drive cars anyways. I'll tell you what, I don't know jack shit about drugs. It's a good problem to have. Is that the horse tranquilizer, that date drug or something? I don't know. What just happened to getting girls just drunk normally? Or was that a reference to Tiger Woods? Is he Chinese when he drives? I don't know. Well, that's what people get when they have these sports heroes. I don't understand having these sports heroes. All of these sports guys, there's very few people that I would call famous, that are well known, that don't have like major character flaws. Or they're into like, banging the maid or something like that. I mean, just weird stuff. Buffering. Uh-oh. Here's the drones again. First, the thumbnails don't work on Facebook. Now this. Could have been something I said. Wokeism as its best. Yep. Yeah, there's not much worse than wokeism as far as I'm concerned. I mean, even if even if you're on the opposite side of the way I think about things, that's fine. You just gotta be able to laugh about shit, Um, you know, you gotta be able to laugh about things. And people just don't. I'll give you an example. This happened about a year ago. I go into Starbucks to get a coffee, right? Some people don't like Starbucks. I don't have a problem with them. They they make they make coffee so strong you can wake the dead. You can go to the graveyard, pour it on top of some graves, and they'll come out. That's why you get it, right? To get things done. So I walk in there, and that's everybody that works there is woke. So I go on there, and they always say, "Well, how's your day going?" And of course, they ask you this before you have your cup of coffee, right? Well, it's going to freaking shit, right? Because I don't have any coffee. But I didn't tell them that. I said, "Well, I'm not looking forward to today because I work with a handicapped," and this went right over their freaking head. And they go, "Well, that's good. The handicapped need jobs," and I'm like, these people just don't get my humor. You just wouldn't do well on my stand-up show. It's the FBI tapping into your stream. Bring it on. Bring it on. I didn't bang girls unless I had an NDA and a consent from her parents. Hard to figure out if my stream is lagging behind or it's lagging but current. Let's see. Do I have any reports down here? Let's see. Skipped frames. Skipped frames detected 100% over the last 2 minutes. I don't know what's going on. We're not doing anything different. Hell, there's nobody home. It'll straighten itself out. It'll straighten itself out. But yeah, that woke thing, they're just from another planet. They're just from another planet. All right, let's get some white out here. FBI got bigger fish to fry. They go after people that behave one way and really a different way. I behave the way I am. Invoke First Amendment, back it with the Second Amendment. I keep a really low profile. Like I said, if they canceled all laws tomorrow, I wouldn't behave any differently. I don't need laws to behave, Why would I change who I am? All right, I need to get on my... Speaking of breaking laws, I need to get another Coke. Indulge my Coke habit. Hold on 1 second. We'll just Okay, let's see here. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, 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 bum. Set your pain. I invoke the smart powers of Smilery. Use guys in Florida have stand your ground to fall back on. Man, you don't want to do that. That's the last resort. Shit, now I need ice. God bless it. I'll be right back. Yeah, that shit's the last resort. I think spending one night in jail is too many nights. I don't care whether you're in the right or not, but I think just having that on there, I know, and some people, that deters some people. They go up to your state to go commit all the crimes. Still painting Austrian Napoleonic 15 millimeter cuirassier. So Mitch had some figures that I found while we were gaming yesterday. He has all kinds of he didn't even know what he has. He has some minifigs, Saxon heavy cavalry that looked really freaking cool. I mean, their horses, minifigs horses aren't very dynamic. They don't suck. They're very passive. And I'm like, ooh, I should paint these for you. No, I'm just saying that. I'm not gonna get sidetracked on that. But they actually look like really good figures. You know. Austrians. I'm invincible when I play Austrians. It's just luck of the Austrians. Continental's primed. Red over black is problematic. Not the way I paint. I'd be tempted one time to prime some figures in white and kind of watercolor them. But that's exactly the opposite of how I paint. So I basically have to start like paint the lightest thing and then work. It's just, I don't know if I could do that. Intermission. Enjoy the overture Coke break. More Huns, yep. You're painting Byzantines. Wait, you're behind. You should have said hi, man. There's no game that we were playing that we couldn't stop. We had plenty of time. You weren't there. That's bullshit. You would have said hi. I forgot my ice. I'm an ice whore. I'm a spoiled American, and I live in a hot climate. I have ice with everything. People in the UK give me shit about pouring whiskey over ice, but it's hot as shit here. Unless you're gonna have it, room temperature here is not room temperature in Scotland. Well, I'm glad somebody was at Historicon. The turnout just seemed. I mean, we had a hell of a time. Don't get me wrong. It would have just been nice to have a better turnout. But that's okay. I learned my lesson. I won't be running DBA at Historicon anymore. You guys have to come to Florida if you want to see it. I may go to Historicon again. I'm just play other stuff. Honestly, we just wanted to hang out. We're just gonna go. We'll go to Historicon and we'll hang out at Annie O'Malley's or whatever the hell the Irish place is next door. Oh, we'll be over there. We're gonna play at the pub. Napoleonic Saxony heavy cavalry, the best. I don't know jack shit about them. You know what? That's kind of cool. I enjoy wargaming and not knowing anything about something. You were in the Art de la Guerre tournament. Well, you guys had the tournament that was rolling. But I wasn't envious because you guys had to lean over a big table. And I don't want to do that. It was noisy over there. I'm glad you guys had a good turnout. I'm not jealous, you know. So you guys had some armies for sale, and Joe ended up buying the Turkish army. No, I meant to say Seljuk Turks, but that's not what I meant. Huns. He bought a Hunnic army. It was a blast. Yeah. The problem with a bigger figure game is you play a game a lot longer. So if you get stuck with somebody who's not the best, you're stuck with them for a while. Come play Art de la Guerre. No thanks. No thanks. There's a couple reasons. There's a couple reasons I won't play Art de la Guerre. The biggest reason is nobody in my area plays it. Second reason, it's too many figures. Third reason, it doesn't solve my biggest problem with DBA, with ancient games, which is the whole conforming thing. I think you should be allowed to fight like this. You know, this whole, you have to conform. And I've watched a couple videos on Art de la Guerre, and the skirmish business is a lot better. But, you know, finally got home. Now sitting down to paint. Friday, 20 people for the 15mm open. Yeah, it's nice. You know, we had that with DBA at one time, but that's all right. That's okay. I'm going to play DBA till I'm tired of it. And then I'm going to make something else. It's the same scale of DBA. So, if I ever get around to it, and it'd be free. I've said it before. I'm not, but you know that this is therapeutic, not working on rules. So I don't have a big push to do that. This works for now. But like, let's say nobody wanted to play DBA anymore, right? Nobody in the United States wanted to play anymore. That'd be the time to jump off the ship. Because I've got to play something that is a little easier to teach to other people. This rule set is just, it's hard to teach to new people. But I'm not in a hurry to do that. It would use the same army lists. I'm not making my own army list. I'm not going to do like other rule sets have done that make their own army list, but really they're just Phil Barker's work regurgitated in another format. You know, Phil Barker pulled things out of his ass. There's just some stuff that you just don't know, and you had to make an educated guess, and I think he did that. You know, there's just not enough source material. So I don't, you know, I would just assume make the same kind of army list. But I'm not really interested in the future in, I'd be more focused on like doing scenarios and shit like that, you know. The Saxon Karas took the Radetzky Redoubt at Borodino. Cool. Now you better stop it. I'm going to end up painting a unit of those. I told him, I said, I'm going to take those. I'm going to paint them. Nah. If I do a new period, it's got to be something that I'm not like super into the period. And I know that sounds strange, but if it's a period I'm super interested in, it's got to have a lot of detail. I don't know if I've got it in me to just spend a lot of time on a game. It'd just be a reason to just paint more stuff, more than, you know, be an awesome game. So we're going to give that Blood and Steel a try, see if I like it. I'm not doing it in 28s. I'd rather play Art de la Guerre in 15s. I would rather play whatever game you want to create for me to play in 15s. I don't mean play. I mean build my own army in 15s than anything in 28s. I'm not doing 28s. You know. You're in Massachusetts. You have a friend from Boston. Every time he talks with the accent, I want to smack him. Go call a cab. I pick up accents where I go, so I'm forbidden to go to Massachusetts. But I also lose them. Or maybe I lose them because I pick up a different accent. I don't know. I'm not gaming in 28s. I mean, good Lord, they're expensive. I mean, I wouldn't do it because it'd just take too long to paint them, but a pack of those plastic figures was like freaking $41. Like, holy shit. That's just way too much. Way too much. You know, and it's only one unit. You know you're not going to want just that. Like, you know, I'm going to want infantry and, you know, a different pack. Well, that's another $41. It's just too much. Speaking of Borodino, Wayne, may buy the Operational Studies Group game Napoleon Invades Russia, which has Borodino. We were talking about Borodino last night. I think they want to do it in DBN. I said if I was a huge on Napoleonics, I wouldn't play DBN. I certainly wouldn't play Commanding Colors Napoleonics. It just, that doesn't scratch the... That'd be like, hey, I'm a big World War II nut. What do you like to play? Oh, I like to play, you know, Axis and Allies. You know, or... what's that thing called? The Command and Colors one that's like that, but it's World War II. That just doesn't even scratch an itch. The smacking one got you to laugh. This one should as well. He was my captain for AWI reenacting, and in one battle I shot him for cowardice. God. I can't imagine doing reenacting and wearing a wool anything. You know, I suffered enough going camping in the Boy Scouts in the early '80s. I don't want to do anything. I'm not interested in roughing it. Now, Crusader miniatures are beautiful. Which Byzantines are you going to do? Oh, so you do Art de la Guerre and in 28 mil? Oh, you're a sadist, my friend. Which Byzantines are you going to do? Dude, there's a lot of 28s at Historicon. A lot. But I didn't need to buy anything. Buying stuff just makes you... You know, the only thing that really sucked about Historicon was the flea market. The flea market sucked. The flea market sucked. They've gotten really good deals there, but I just think that just not as many people showed up. And for multiple reasons. Some people would probably didn't want to go because, they were scared of the environment. Some people probably just had, gas, Nicephorian. Okay. Old Basil, the Bulgar Slayer, and John Simiscus, and John Simiscus was a real dick because he ended up being buddies with the guy and he ended up murdering him. Not cool, man. And what's really confusing about the Byzantine history is you find out about these armies and you kind of know some of these major players and you know that they're coming up. And you're like, okay, I can't remember if that guy's in the 1000s or the 900s. So you hear it say, oh, is Nicephorus is here. Like, oh, good, this is the guy that kicks ass. And you realize, no, it's Nicephorus the second that kicks ass, not the first one. She's like, oh man, I gotta wait a few more episodes for him to come up. And the same thing happens with Basil. It's Basil the second that's the one that kicks ass. Nicephorian, the best. You get a chance. Sales pitch. 28 millimeter has always been bigger than 15. Yeah, and 54 is even bigger. Also, rules being written by the French is not a sales point either. It was your first turn, you didn't finish last. Yeah, as long as you had fun, I'm not really a tournament player. I mean, I am now, but it was just, I want to play with my figures, I'm more interested in being happy with how my figures turn out looking like than how they perform. Good thing, because sometimes some of these guys just don't have a good day, but yeah, as I like to say, the other guy's trying to win too. Other guy's trying to win too. As long as you don't lose to a total asshole. We had a couple of people like that in the past. Like, man, I don't care if I win, but I don't want to lose to that guy. Yeah. Nicephorians just have a few of those heavy cataphracts. Well, at least in DBA, I think it's one unit of like the deep cats. There's no doubt about it. They're cool looking. And honestly, that's a good reason to build an army, because you like how it looks. Is there camelry in Art de la Guerre? Of course there is. So I'm going to ask Rick this, because Rick definitely does his own programming. Have you had a problem in the last month with thumbnails, posting things on thumbnails to YouTube, to Facebook? I've just given up. I've encountered it several times. Go and clean your cache and delete this. Okay, I did everything. I did it this last time. It won't send my thumbnails up, and I'm not going to post my videos on Facebook without the thumbnail. Like, it comes up and it's like a blank thumbnail. Like, I was too lazy to create one when I actually made a really nice one. It's like, well, screw you, Facebook. I'm not going to put the links on there. Livestock poo. Yuck. Nubian Christian Army. That's a cool. Isn't that the guys that supposedly have the ark hidden away, tucked away somewhere? It's actually a pretty cool army. All right, let's get some lighter colored pants. This one. You've had the absolute worst luck. The link I post to Facebook does not have the thumbnail I've chosen for the video. Yeah, so something is going on with thumbnails then. Facebook is the devil's playground. Not for our hobby, it's not. I think it's really good for our hobby. Now, if you go into, getting baited into stuff. Now, I know I've a couple of guys, one person in particular, it's my friend, I know him personally, and he likes putting controversial stuff up. But he gets pounded on by people, and he's like, still lets them pound on him. I wouldn't put up with that shit. I mean, well, I don't really put controversial stuff up, but if somebody's a pain in the ass, I'll just block their ass. I don't have to, get into arguments with them, but he's got this one guy that's like, I didn't even interact with him, but his interaction with this other guy that I know, I just blocked him. I'm like, I don't want to see anything else this guy posts. Or I'm gonna want to get a hitman to go visit him. What kind of communist is this guy? Like, I'm like, so I looked at my block list and I got like 20 people on my block list. And I'm going down, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the guy that acted out on somebody else's page. Oh, yep, that's the guy that said the one thing to this one guy and, so it was like nobody really that I had an interaction with. It was almost like, let me block this guy so he doesn't wind me up. There was Ethiopians. Yeah, but that's kind of in the same area. Christian Nubians, that's the same type of thing. The ones I get mixed up is Christian Nubian and Meroitic Cushite, because they're kind of in the same area, that whole Upper Nile type zone, so... Sweet. Lindor just popped a 2-run shot. Oh. Probably did actually because it was over hunting weekend. Yeah, we don't need any more hot weather, that's for sure. I just don't believe that there's people that... I can't believe there's that many people that actually like to troll. It's just like a waste of time. Do light horse like Mongols and stuff have any kind of a distance shooting in Art de la Guerre? And does like your Byzantine cavalry, not your on your Nicephorian list, not your cataphracts, but your regular cavalry, do they have a distance shooting? Or is it figured into basically their close combat number? Because I'd give them a distance shooting. I'd give them a short distance shooting. I mean, it might be like half a base width or something like that, but... I mean, if I'm making my own rules... Are you watching baseball, but you're an hour or so behind? Ooh, which game is it so I can tell you what happens? I would never do shit like that. But it's fun to say that I would do it. There was a rumor that I was reading some article that it was rumored to that one of those folks down like Ethiopia or Lower Sudan or had like Christian Nubians supposedly had, it was a legend or whatever, that had the Ark of the Covenant. I forget exactly what it is, but look it up. There's, it's interesting just for yucks. Andrew's still waiting for the sales picture after the gear. All mounted archery has a range of 1 or 2. Okay. Well, that's an improvement. I got some ideas, and I've played probably about a dozen games of it, and it's a good game, but I'm not interested in creating a game that is for sale, and I'm also not interested in creating a game that's points based. It's just here's your army list, and this is kind of the stuff that it is, and I'd be more interested in like creating a scenario that they behave a certain way in this one scenario, and not worry about every army having 12 elements. That's like one thing that Impetus actually is kind of cool is some armies have 9 elements and some have 14. It is what it is. Many people whose ruin scores baseball games will forever do all the time. Punching the hearts of hearts, stun his army, stop doing it. You had, it's what you get for having friends, Nordic. You had 4 units of Skutatoi. Half bow range is 4 UD. See, copies of Line Rampant 2nd edition are starting to get received by people. I'm starting to get tired of these 2nd edition of things. And the first one that I heard about was Flames of War, right? They redid everything, and and people were pissed off, and at least here in Florida, like half the people walked away. It's like, oh, they can't use these models and all this shit. They want them to buy new books. And then I figured, well, maybe that's an isolated instance that only they did it. Well, freaking Saga did it too. And 1 UD force, okay, unit depth. Orthodox Ethiopian Christians have the Ark, but let anyone see it. Yeah. You got to play. You got to play what people in your area play. So if you go somewhere and everybody plays Art de la Guerre and you want to play a different rule system, good luck. Yeah, I don't bother arguing with anybody. And I really don't put up with people that, come and hound you on your own page. You can pretty much put whatever you want on your page. If people have a problem with it, they can just not comment on it. That's kind of like your home. It's like taking a dump in somebody else's, front foyer. Nice foyer. Pull your pants down and take a dump, Not cool. I don't do that to other people. And there's lots of stuff I don't like. I see lots of things I don't like. I don't. People don't care about my opinion. They should make Art de la Guerre videos. Are there Art de la Guerre videos? Make Art de la Guerre videos like I've done with DBA, and people have so much fun playing it, and people can't. People just would just come in droves to come play it. They realize, man, those guys are really having a shitload of fun. I got to get in on that. Here. Four thematic heavy cav, four light cav with bows. Tony came after me the other day on Facebook when he spotted a side of ketchup on my plate. I swear I was handed the plate. I did that because I know you hate ketchup like I do. Man, I hate that stuff. God, I hate that stuff. And even worse thing at ketchup is people that like ketchup but don't like tomatoes. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? I went to, what place were we going to? Oh, we were going to go to this burger place the other day. And actually, we weren't because it freaking sucks. But we're just trying to get a quick meal. And I remember that there was a place, not only does it suck, it's expensive. And they only have one size drink. And the size drink is like, I swear it's like freaking 12 ounces. You know? Freaking 12-ounce drink. I'm fine with 12-ounce drinks. They all cost about a quarter. So anyways, I like learning about a new period that maybe I'm not familiar with. So this last weekend, I watched stuff on the Anglo-Afghan conflicts of the late 19th century, which I didn't know diddly shit about. And it was funny because I suggested in the game that it'd be cool to add some Russians in there, unbeknownst to me that there was that much animosity between Britain and Russia during the 19th century. I had no freaking idea. I just figured they were the neighbors to the north, you know. Okay, Andrew, thanks for stopping by. I don't think we had beer pong when I was in college. I certainly don't remember it. We played other games, but not beer pong. Speaking of pong, I really dislike chess. But worse than chess would be ping pong. That is just unnerving. That's not good. That's not good. You better be wearing full clothes. Damn it. Damn it, man. It's my favorite superhero. Damn it, man. Speaking of which, I guess I'm never going to finish this episode of this season of the boys. I'm having so much trouble just the motivation to freaking watch that. I just don't like watching television. You're just sitting there like mindless, just like, yeah, right. All right. Let's go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and do his bow. Oh, I better put some. I believe ochre's already out here somewhere. It's been that long since I used that. Put it away. Okay. You played ping pong in college. I remember one game I whacked the ball back at my friend's and hit the corner of his table and then hit the RA in the back of her head. Resident. I don't know what RA is. Resident something. You know, I could say they don't make a bikini in your size, Rick, but I'd be wrong. They make them in all kinds of problems. Here you had the same problem with season 3 of Stranger Things. Season 3, which one's that one? The Mall? I'd say I'd have to watch it again and see what you're talking about. The cast, the Russians were just freaking morons. They were just morons. Did you finally see season 4? It's typical. It's typical every show. As the seasons went on, it got worse. It's got so bad, I don't want to see that Winona Ryder in anything else again. I don't want to see her anything else. She just, like stunned, mouth agape, everything. It's like, I've had enough. Resident assistant, okay. Resident assistant sounds like, that sheriff's cop that helps, that doesn't have a firearm or anything. They're just there to, oh, it's just an accident. Oh, send that assistant guy to go write shit up. No. You liked season 4 better. Wow. I'd have to watch them both. I like the idea of the shopping mall. Now, I'll be honest with you. I hated Billy. I hated that guy. That guy sucked. I guess that was the whole point, is for him to suck. What was 2? 2 was the fair, right? I think 2 was like the county fair. Oh, season 1 was awesome. I didn't really care for what the revelation is of who's creating all the nonsense in season 4. And I'm not going to spoil it for those of you guys that didn't see it, but I didn't really care for that. Again, it falls into the lame villain thing. And season 4, I absolutely hated everything that was happening in Russia. Everything that was happening up there. It was like they could have just eliminated all those characters and it would have been better. Who's Will's brother? Will's brother's freaking worthless character. Even Argyle's a better character than Will's brother. Will's brother's just worthless. Yeah, I wanted to see Billy get his from the moment his character showed up. Yeah, what a dirtbag. Yeah, I had that shitty little mustache too. I don't like characters with facial hair that can't grow it. It's like, okay, you can't grow a beard, so don't even attempt to have one, you know? Oh, yeah. This last season, a lot of the characters changed a lot. Like, Dustin was basically, like, sidelined. You know, he wasn't a big factor. Um, British imperialism on the Indian subcontinent, Russia and Great Britain played the great game and controlled Afghanistan and Pakistan. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I learned about it this weekend. I thought it was really interesting. I think it's a great backdrop with a lot of potential for. We'll see. We'll give those rules a shot. I don't want to play natives versus Britain. I think it's too one-sided, and I want, natives on both sides with their own agendas, and using and abusing each other. So I played several games of Sword in the Flame. Didn't really leave me, but they all play in 28s. I'm not painting 28s, so we'll see. Worst case scenario, I certainly learned some cool history that I didn't know about. Still think Steve's the best character of the show. So if they kill him off, you'd be upset. Steve's probably the best character in the show now, for sure. I thought in season 1 Dustin was a great character. But now he's just been sidelined. You know? I still can't believe Steve survived season 1. Pretty amazing. I know the reasoning behind it. Still pretty amazing. I do like it when people do unexpected things, though. Unexpected stuff happens. I tell you what. What's the redheaded girl's name? I hated her in season 3. She was okay in this one, but I hated her in season 3. Max. I hated Max in season 3. She could have gone out with Billy. Yep. I think that you can play them in 15s, and the scale will actually scale. They'll scale out better. Afghan Wars. Empires go to fail. That's right. What's it called? The Graveyard of Empires. Mm-hmm. That might be cool. The nice thing, it give me a chance to finally play an NPC that I've been cooking up for a long time, and that's Ahmed, the motherless goat herder. I think that would be that'd be a lot of fun. I've actually played 3 or 4 games of Sword in the Flame and never played the Europeans. I've never played I've always played the natives or the ones that were less well-to-do. So, why play the Europeans? You can always play the Europeans in every other game. She got Major League messed up at the end of season 4. Yeah, I actually kind of called what was going to happen, which is unusual for me. I don't have that superpower. I don't really worry about it, but I kind of called what was going to happen. Okay. What do we got left here? A lot. What do we got next? Yeah, it's flush time. This guy looks more like a Cossack than a Hun. This guy looks like one of those guys with the painting, the what's that? The response of the Zaporozhian Cossacks to Ottoman Turks. Their FU leather and that big painting that they're all hanging out there, basically giving the Ottomans the finger. That's what it looks like. Yeah, this poor bastard's got frickin' eyes I gotta paint. I don't mind doing it, but I'll only do it if I have to. Kind of have to on this guy. Actually struggling to watch Peaky Blinders Season 3. I'm about halfway through it. What is it with these TV shows that Season 3 seems to be the death note for me? Yeah. Too much of the same thing. What was Season 3 in Game of Thrones? I don't know, I'll be honest with you. The reason I watched Game of Thrones is, well, it was really well done, but everybody was watching it. I don't know that Historicon ever had branded dice. No. No, the ones that we've had is, there's a show in Jacksonville that had branded dice. Our shows always have branded dice. And yes, they've learned their logo. Their logo is now on the 6. Yeah, I've been to Historicon since 2006, and they've never had branded dice. It's a shame. I mean, that'd be pretty cool, but I've never seen any from Historicon. Hey, Kevin, you're invisible. Well, not anymore. You said something. You have weighted 10-sided percentile dice. You guys watched the video from last night? Randy ended up pulling some averaging dice and used them. And he caught himself. Joe was like, hey, those are averaging dice. I'm like, I wouldn't have known. Never played a game that uses that. Averaging dice just sounds like something that somebody who's afraid of rolling bad would use in a game. Like, we got to play this game. Why? Because there's no way to roll a 1. Going to visit the loo. You should have put on your diaper. I remember this story. This one guy was telling me that he was in college, and this one particular bar that he went to, it wasn't here in town, it was where he was from, a different place in Florida. They had this thing where you could drink as much as you wanted until somebody went to the bathroom. So he said there was these 2 big guys who were just chugging beers and right by the bathroom, and they wouldn't let anybody use the bathroom for hours. And then finally they gave in up, after about 3 hours or so, they finally let somebody go in and break the seal. And come to find out, these 2 guys that were basically holding the door closed so nobody could go to the bathroom had been chugging beer. They had put on diapers. So we're in diapers the whole time. Like, that's a dedicated drinker. Tony missed my Mameluke comment. It's not that you're invisible. Your comments aren't coming up. And I don't know why. Oh, shit. No, I just went really fast there. You mentioned Mameluke Army in your video, so I checked it out, thinking my unknown figures might work. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I actually put a Mameluke Army together. Yeah, I missed the Mameluke comment. Sorry. Yeah, there were just so many things that went back and looked, it was off the page. Sorry about that. My Canadian impersonation. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got to. They're already bagged and ready to go. Oh, those guys would look beautiful. Not exactly a game-winning army, but no, I don't care. These guys aren't going to be game-winning armies. Turds of the steppe. Were your figures in 28s or 15s? I can't remember. I know which ones you're talking about. You're the ones that nobody could figure out what they were. Average dice were used for trained troops that fought regularly, less random. But they can never roll a 6. So they could never do awesome. You always self. Oh man. All right, it's time to paint some eyes. Here is the brush that I said I was only going to use for eyes. All right, let's get some black. Which ends up covering most of the white anyways. That'll work. That'll work for now. I think I used this brush one time, and it wasn't worth a damn after I used it one time, so I won't be buying these again. This AIT Art, which some of their AITs are okay, but these are golden synthetic round. This is the Kolinsky blend. So this the most sable one that I have actually behaves worse than some of the synthetic ones. 15 mil, okay. Yep, you leave for a couple of minutes and the chat turns to catheters. No. It's your lucky day. I don't know, these figures are almost too nice. They got details that, especially their freaking faces. Got some great faces on these guys. Kink shamed. I'm sure there's somebody that has a thing for that. Just when you think this is the weirdest thing ever, there's no way somebody could be into that. The people surprise you. I remember there was like, it must have been a long time ago. I swear it was like 15 or 20 years ago. Maybe it was longer. And it was somebody that was into amputating people. And like, no. And I can't remember if it was somebody that was actually like a criminal that went and captured people and got off on amputating their limbs. There's some messed up people out there. I mean, if you're going to amputate somebody's feet, somebody's limbs, make it Mitch's feet. I told him, someone out there, somebody's watched our videos, and the favorite thing in their videos, they like looking at Mitch's feet. Guaranteed. There may only be one person. Ah, snapdoodle. There we go. This guy has an extremely long mustache. Did you finally find that Halloween store was open you were looking for, Rick? A bit early, don't you think? Not even September. What's the scariest outfit you guys have seen out there? I know like some people are afraid of clowns, whatever. I work with a guy who claims that he's not afraid of clowns. He said they make him angry. I said, what do you mean they make you angry? I said, I want to punch him. I said, okay, well, no circus for you. Be right back. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I thought it was super early. Found an unfortunate my location is, and I found it, and unfortunately my location is costumes only. Oh, you mean like no like lawn ornaments like Vlad the Impaler lawn ornaments? One of the coolest things I saw, there was this house that was one of the coolest things I saw that wasn't like morbid. I don't like the stuff that's too gory and shit like that. It's just unnecessary. There was this house that had like this big oak tree in the middle of their in their front yard, like really big oak tree, like shit, like it was probably 100 feet across, easy. And they had all these dummies that were all dressed up like different monsters. Like there was a werewolf, and there was like a Frankenstein, and I think there was a Dracula, and there was at least 4 or 5 of them or whatever, life size with a mask on them. But they obviously were dummies, and they were filled full of straw or whatever they were. And on this tree, they were all hanging from nooses, almost like if you monsters come over here, I'll hang every one of your ass. I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really funny. You've seen Mitch's feet, but I don't think often enough to talk about. Good. Had to decide between running half marathons with catheters or wet pants. What? Which is a huge bummer. I love looking at the decor and animatronics. Okay. Helga's House of Horrors. Sounds like where the Kathy Bates from Misery lives. One of the few movies I've actually seen twice in the movie theater when it came out. That's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. Confessions of a Twisted Mind, always entertaining. I don't like gore. Unnecessary. Kepin family reunion. I thought it was super cool, and it was a while ago. It was before we had cameras in our pockets basically at all times. So it must have been mid 2000s or something like that. It was a house that was in a neighborhood that my parents lived in, and I thought it was really, really cool. It was innovative. They definitely thought about it. So, yeah. Don't show up. You monsters better not show up here. We're going to hang your ass. What would you never dress up as? We actually have a pretty decent neighborhood for kids to go trick or treating, so we usually sit outside and have a beer or two and hang out and check out their costumes and stuff like that. Most of it is like, kids under 13. Sometimes you get some teenagers, but they just want candy or whatever. It's pretty cool when you have one of those neighborhoods where there's a lot of stuff going on, and Some people have like freaking movies playing on the side of their house. I mean, they really go freaking nuts for stuff. My daughter actually had a friend that she went to middle school with that they weren't allowed to celebrate Halloween. You don't celebrate Halloween, you just freaking do it. You know, it's like, you would never dress up as Rick. Well, he's not that famous. They don't make a Rick costume. You don't want to be the coolest person alive. It's Halloween. You got to be the coolest person dead. Think about it. I'm the coolest person alive. You don't want to dress up as yourself. Again, you're not that famous. I guess some people want fame. I don't see what the point of it is. Make a jackass costume, which would work for Rick. You said that, and you know the first thing I thought of? Remember that movie Top Secret, where they dress up as a freaking cow? I gotta see that again. That's a dumbass freaking movie. But man, I saw that movie with the right person, and we laughed our ass off. Of course, it's been 30 years probably since I've seen that movie. My neck. Oh man. actually they actually make a costume for that. You could wear a big freaking life-size penis. It's freaking hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. It's not life-size, but it would be, you know, like if you were literally that well endowed. They make some interesting masks. Let's put it that way. You know, you can't wear that around the neighborhood, though. Figures and artwork after shows are kind of looking like cataphracts, but army figures and artwork often show Eastern cavalry looking like cataphracts, but army lists say cav. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's, you know, there's a lot of those things that I had a lot of problems with. You know, you'd have like Byzantine. Why are these Byzantine guys that look like spearmen are considered blade? Well, it's the way that they fought. They were like aggressive or whatever. That's the cop out. Those kind of things are really difficult to explain to new players. They don't understand, well, why does he got horse armor? Why isn't he cataphract? You know? What are the Sassanid Persian guys that have, you know, linen and covered horses and, you know, and usually, why aren't they knights? Well, sometimes they are if they're actual cataphracts, but just their standard guys, you know? that rain? It says mostly clear, so it can't possibly be rain. Then the weather guys would be wrong. That never happens. No, it's just after 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to cut off here soon because I unfortunately need a snack, which I shouldn't have, but damn it, I'm hungry. Good thing is there's not really any bad stuff around here. It's not like we got a bunch of chips and stuff. It's not like we got Rick's Rec Room where every Dorito known to man is down there. You need to sell tickets to your freaking game room. It's crazy. That's crazy. The question is, if you didn't have a basement, would you have a room in your house that was that wild? There's no reason that your game room couldn't be upstairs, you know? All right.